Hey guys, I'm doing a video here ranking the 5 new Halloween units: Hinami, Cesar, Hidan, Sid, and Alucard. And I've spent a bit of time here watching all the showcases, trying to figure like the units out as best as I could. Um, so yeah, I'll just be going into the ranking now. I don't really want to sit and just talk about nothing. So let's just get into it. And I'm gonna say fifth is like Cesar. Um, really bad DPS. I've heard he has poison, but I heard his poison damage was 10%. Not sure if that's true, but even if he had 100% poison damage, I'm not gonna. He would still be trash. Just a pretty bad unit, if I'm gonna be honest. Only use I can see from him is Infinite Castle with Mermaid Crown. If you play a lot of Infinite Castle, you know why. And if you don't worry about it. And this may come as a surprise, but I have a tie between fourth and third. And you may think it's Hidan and Hinami, but I actually have Sid and Hinami. Now, that may come as a surprise since Sid is fully OE, hybrid, good range. I mean, and true damage. True damage sounds good, right? No. True damage is making him bad. You don't want to use it, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you can't use Erwin or Wendy to buff him, and that's 2 times damage you're missing out on for like 2.5k yen. That's a lot of damage to miss out on. And all other units can get it. Of course, like not Usopp, but they're 2 completely different units. You can't compare them. Usopp isn't a DPS unit, but Sid is. And Shigaraki has the magic like the magic attack type, so he doesn't have the same problem as Sid. Sid is not magic or physical, only true damage. And Griffith got nerfed last update, or last update again, something like that. So you can't use Griffith to buff him, which just means, well, you can, but that's only really in Infinite. But that basically means you can't really buff Sid, which puts him down a lot. Like someone like Aizen and Tengen with buffs, kinda compared to Sid, I'm not gonna lie. Sid is kind of on that Aizen Tengen level, which is really bad for a unit where it just got. And I was hyped for this Sid unit. I love Sid. I love Eminence and Shadow. I love the anime. I'm probably gonna read the manga soon. But man, he was so disappointing, and his stats seem good, so everyone is overhyping him up, really overrating him. But people don't realize how useless he kind of is. And you may think, well, Infinite Castle, you can use him there, right? Because of true damage. No. You should not do that. Infinite Castle has a buff and a nerf. Like either magic buff or a physical buff, and then the other one is nerfed. You want to use the buff one plus Erwin or Wendy, depending on what it is. That's gonna do a lot more DPS than Sid. Sid is just not really good for anything, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe he's alright for Infinite with Griffith buff, but he still can't get the buff by Erwin and Wendy, so he's still missing out a lot. I know they don't stack like they used to, but it's still a lot of damage, which kind of ruins the unit in my opinion. I wouldn't even bring him for Infinites, I'm gonna be honest. Not worth it. Not worth that slot for kind of mid DPS, and yeah, just nothing special, to be honest. And yeah, that's basically my explanation. Please like actually listen to what I have to say instead of just attacking me in the comments. because I have the reason here, and if you just listen to it and think about it in your head, you can see why he's actually kind of useless and why he needs that buff. Like, they gotta give him the magic attack type on, like, add that on to the true damage. But yeah, he's tied with Hami. Hami, decent hybrid unit. Been a while since we last got a hybrid unit. I don't know if the last one was Toshiro from Winter Event, but definitely been a while. Or actually it's Leafy, I think. But last damage one. But yeah, you can place her wherever you want. You can place her on here, down here. Decent unit, decent DPS, pretty like alright circle, pretty mid-range. So it's just damage, hybrid, not a crazy AoE or anything, but I guess for physical wind, it's not bad, right? Should be pretty high on the list for wind units. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about her. She's just a normal unit doing damage. But second, I have Hidan, and that might be a surprise, but he's actually really good, if I'm understanding this unit correctly. He's a stain, but he doesn't have the stun, and he has a different AoE. He has a big cone, while Stain has a big circle. So I would probably use Hidan if you use Guts with him, and I would use Stain if you use Stain alone. Now, why I'm saying that is because of AoE. Stain's AoE is a big circle, which means he has an easier spreading the bleed around, because you can put one to first, one to last, one to closest, and it'll do everything. Meanwhile, with Cone, it also does depend on map, by the way, but I would say for most maps I would do that, as I just said. Yeah, with Cone, you know, you can set one to last, you can set one to first to hit over here, one over here, but you can't set one to closest. And Cones do kind of miss a little. If they're like one hit and last, it'll definitely miss a little here, and first will also miss a little here, and you can't have one to closest there, because if you have one to closest, it's gonna hit max one unit. That's just how Cone is. If you understood that, nice, but it may seem a bit confusing. But yeah, great unit. No stun, but a little more damage, I think. I would definitely recommend getting him. Because he's like, he's probably gonna be meta after the update, which is actually gonna give him a little value. If people can even like think that far, I don't know. People just look at damage and that's it. Everyone is calling Hidan mid, even though they don't know what his ability does. And first is of course Alucard. I feel like that's pretty obvious. He has insane damage. He has some summons he can do, or like he can spawn stuff. I'm still not entirely sure on his ability, but I know it's like a 2-minute cooldown where he can spawn the stuff he has killed or something, and the HP will be based off of his damage. So, and he spawns a lot, by the way. So really good unit, good DPS. Definitely the best unit this update in my opinion. Oh, I don't have this. Okay. Yeah, just great unit. I would recommend getting him if you, well, I was about to say if you can, but yeah, it's really just if you can, because the chances of him is insane. But yeah, that's basically my ranking. I don't have much to say about Alucard. I feel like everyone knows he's the best. Not hybrid, but he does summon, which can take early airs. If the summons are quick enough, I think they are. As I said, I'm not 100% sure on how his ability works, but it is something like that. And if I sound like a little, like if my voice sounds a little weird sometimes, it's because I've tried to record this 4 times already. And I've spent like the last 45 minutes trying to do this, but I always end up making some mistake. But I think I finally got it, and yeah, that's my ranking. Comment down below what you think. Yeah, that's basically it. Also, if you can, comment like why, if they're any different than mine, the list, because I would like to know what people think about these units. Sid really overhyped, really overrated. I'm expecting to see like him on top of the tier list and stuff, but not from the wiki. Actually, they're kind of smart, so hopefully they don't put him up there and like spread misinformation about him actually being amazing, because he's really not. He's actually useless. But of course not worse than Cesar. But yeah, I'm really making this video long. So yeah, thank you for watching and hope you enjoy it.